The 3 components required for building success. The formula for extraordinary results is purpose, priority, and productivity. Imagine it like an iceberg, with productivity only representing the part of the iceberg above the water, and purpose and priority representing the remaining, much bigger part underwater. Think of purpose as the big one thing, and of priority as the small big things, the manageable tasks that lead you to your one big thing. Both together result in productivity. People often seek happiness in life without actually knowing what that means. Gary Keller explains this with a short story I want to illustrate. Once a king saw a beggar sitting at the side of the street, having a bowl in his hand. The king wants to fulfill one of the beggar's wishes. Being no ordinary beggar, the beggar asks the king if he's really sure that he will be able to fulfill his wish. Responding, full of royal confidence, the beggar asked the king to fill his bowl with gold. The king starts filling gold in the bowl, but the bowl does not get full, no matter how much gold the king fills the bowl with. Out of desperation, the king asked the beggar what is wrong with his bowl. Thereupon, the beggar simply replies, "The bowl is made out of the insatiable nature of human desire." This story shows that once we obtain what we previously thought would make us happy, we immediately want more, unless we have a bigger picture in mind, our one thing. Therefore, purpose is one crucial component for being happy. Purpose generates motivation to make every day of our life meaningful for our path to success. When we find purpose, happiness can happen on the way to fulfillment. Even when things go wrong, having a purpose allows us to remind ourselves why we are doing what we are and should be doing. However, purpose requires goal setting to achieve extraordinary results in the future. In the words of Gary Keller, priority can be defined as goal setting to the now. It has been shown that most people, when being asked whether they would want $100 today or $200 next year, would go for $100 today. Why? Because future rewards create less motivation in the present moment. Therefore, it is important to break down your someday life goal into a 5-year goal, then into a 1-year goal, a monthly goal, a weekly goal, a daily goal, and most importantly, into what you can do right now. Here is takeaway number 6, the importance of purpose and priority. If everyone has the same amount of time, why are some people earning more than others? That is because we are using time differently. Accordingly, a time management system can be evaluated by the productivity it enables. The most successful people often are the most productive ones. In order for one to be productive, one must define their one thing, block the time for it, and, last but not least, protect the blocked time. When it comes to time blocking, there are 3 things that have to be considered, according to Gary Keller. First, the time off. In order to be as productive as possible, it is important to fuel yourself. Also, it is important to plan in advance when you will be off so that you can plan your one thing accordingly. Second, the one thing. Block at least 4 hours a day for your one thing. Third, planning time. Block time for planning to reflect where you are and where you want to go. Once you have time blocked your one thing, it is crucial that you protect your time blocks. This is achieved by saying no to all other things and by letting people around you know that this is your time. Of course, there might be situations where you cannot delay other tasks. In those situations, immediately reschedule your one thing in order to make sure that you will achieve your daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and 5-year goals. Here is takeaway number 7. Manage productivity. It is only when you are at your best that you are be able to attain your goals. Giving and being your best every day on the way towards your goals is the path of mastery, which is a prerequisite to get where you want to be. Start by changing your way of thinking. We can identify 2 ways of thinking. When thinking in an entrepreneurial fashion, motivation drives you forward. However, you naturally set a limit to what you think you are capable of achieving. In this framework, acknowledging that you have given your best is sufficient. However, again, that means you might never move beyond the ceiling you have set for your expected achievements. So rather than thinking in an entrepreneurial fashion, start thinking purposefully. This will enable you to move beyond your comfort zone and the natural border you have set for your achievements. Let your one thing drive you. Take responsibility for your actions as well as for external circumstances. Being a victim will only stop you getting closer to your goal. It is only when we are being proactive about the decisions we take and actions we make that we effectively move towards our goals. Takeaway number 8. Mindset shift from entrepreneurial to purposeful. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to see you soon.